Hi there, welcome to an update from MDAX Lending. I'm Michael and this is Gary. Welcome along again, Gary. So we just thought it was time to just do a bit of an update. I mean, the RBA have been putting up rates in the last few months. And so what are you seeing in the marketplace from banks at the moment?
Oh, from a bank's point of view, it's become fairly evident that a lot of borrowers are paying above the odds with their rates compared to a new customer going to the bank. If you've been with an existing provider for some time, you could be certainly paying above the current carded rates that they're offering new customers.
Yeah. So what, you've got some examples there of what difference might be?
So look, just over the last couple of months, I guess, there's certainly evidence to suggest that some people are paying, anything from half up to 1% more than what they should or could be. With the increase in rates with the RBA, I think many borrowers are starting to have a look at, review their situation and it's become more front of mind.
Yeah, I think, as you say, the interest rates have gone up, so that monthly repayment in your interest component is increasing, so it's a bit more larger number for most households. So it's a bit more, as you say, front of mind. So what you're saying, effectively, if I rock up to a bank tomorrow as a fresh customer, I might get quoted one rate, but if I'm an existing customer, I might be 0.5% or 1% higher.
Correct.
What you're sort of seeing.
Yes.
And I suppose the advantage of coming through a broker is that there's a number of lenders on the panel, as I say. And I suppose what are you able to have a range of options for people, I suppose?
Yeah, look, one of the considerations, obviously, with refinancing is the cost. It can be a concern. But having said that, there's a number of lenders are offering cashback at the moment, which anything from $2,000 to $3,000 range, which absorbs the cost, I suppose. So that's kind of the first thing we look at, trying to see what offerings are available with those lenders that are offering the cashback, because that can make things look a bit more attractive.
So we're talking about refinancing, so someone with a certain bank can have a chat to yourself to explore the marketplace, what other options there might be out there for them. And is the process sort of painful, I suppose, because of a bit of a fear for people to go through?
No, look, I think a lot of borrowers do think that it is a difficult process, but I guess that's what you're engaging us to do. We do the legwork for you, liaise with your current lender, so you don't have that don't need to have that uncomfortable relationship or conversation with them about leaving them. So we can certainly handle all that for you.
Yeah, and you hear some people talk about everything takes so long in the banking sector these days. What's some examples of your experience recently in that space?
Yeah, so look, a lot of lenders have sort of streamlined their processes to become a bit of a point of difference, where they're offering some lenders, we can have same day approvals, right? If we've got all the ducks lined up, if you like. And even worst case scenario, we're looking 2 or 3 days for approval. So generally, that's pretty much the normal.
Yeah, that's quite
normal process.
Quite streamlined, they say. You sort of hear the opposite sometimes in the media headlines. So
I think the other thing worth mentioning too is if you've got quite a bit of equity in your property, in most cases you won't need a valuation, a formal valuation done. So that not only speeds up the process, it's also an expense that you wouldn't have to incur. Generally, most lenders use an automated system for valuations these days. if your borrowing's under 80% of the value, normally a full valuation wouldn't be required.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's handy to know.
it is, yeah.
So a key message at the moment is with the interest rates going up and the cost of living pressures, what's sort of the key takeaway for people today?
Oh, well, look, I personally think I strongly encourage everybody to do a review of their borrowings, whether you feel that you're happy with your existing arrangements, that's fine. But I think it is prudent at the moment to do that.
Yep.
We're probably going to have another 1% increase over the next few months, I suspect.
Yeah.
So that just brings it, I think, to front of mind even more.
Yeah.
To just, it doesn't cost anything to do a review.
No.
And I'm pretty straight to the point sort of person. I'll tell you if it's worth you looking at refinancing. I'm not the type of person to sort of put you in, make any recommendations that where it's not in your best interest.
Yeah.
So, but certainly a review or a health check of your current borrowings, I think, is a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Gary. What's happening in the marketplace in terms of lending, and as Gary said, now's a great time just to have that review and to see what other options there might be out there in the marketplace, and it doesn't cost anything, as Gary said. So have a chat to Gary. Thanks for your time. Thanks for tuning in.